Well, for more on this, let's speak to RGKhouri, who's a senior fellow at the Harvard Kennedy School and joins us via Skype from Cambridge, Massachusetts. Rami, very good to have you with us on Al Jazeera, as always. So what do you make of this letter from the Crown Prince Hamza declaring his loyalty to the king when just hours before he'd struck a more defiant tone, saying that he would continue to speak out? Is the rift in the royal family really easing?
I don't think there was a very deep rift at all. There was some tension because Hamza has been, for years, talking about bad governance, corruption across the whole region, not just only in Jordan. And several times I met him and he talked about this. And this was part of his character. He's a very forthright, honest, very principled young man. He's 41, he's still pretty young. And this is what he feels is the right thing to do. He feels this is what his father would have wanted him to do, to speak out when there's injustice, when there's poverty, when there's corruption, when there's growing inequality. And that was something that the government, the royal palace, the intelligence agencies, others in the power structure don't want to see happening all across the country. There is widespread discontent and suffering economically in Jordan.
Right.
The people are speaking out more. They're blaming the king often or the royal family. They're talking of corruption. These are new things in Jordan. And I think they really, what happened was the power structure thought that if they could pin it on Hamza, that it would scare everybody else. But
right.
I don't think it's worked. And
so how much support does Hamza actually have among Jordanians? Are there many who share his views, you know, when he accuses Jordan's leadership of corruption, nepotism and authoritarian rule? How much of a threat is he really?
He's not a threat at all. He doesn't see himself as an alternative to the king. He's not trying to become king. He accepts, just as Crown Prince Hassan before him accepted when the Crown Prince's position was changed by the will of the king, he accepted it. The last two Crown Princes were changed, and they accepted it. These are loyal Hashemite princes. They believe in their family's mission. They have a strong commitment to the family, to the country, but they also have values, and they don't like to see mass suffering and people being told that they can't express themselves. Last year, the entire teachers' union was shut down, and its council was taken to court by the government because they were protesting. So Hamza is not a figure who attracts political activism. We shouldn't see him like that.
Right.
But he does reflect the widespread discontent. And this letter that he signed is really not very newsworthy. His allegiance to the king was never in question.
Okay. What about the notion, Rami? Let me ask you this, because, I mean, this has been bandied around a lot in the past 2 days. What about the notion that there are perhaps foreign elements involved here, that this might have been the Israeli-Saudi UAE axis wanting to undermine King Abdullah? Do you buy it? Do you buy any of that?
I think that's a theory that needs to be investigated, but it needs evidence. It needs proof. We haven't seen any proof yet. I don't think that the Emirati, Saudi, Israeli axis wants to get rid of King Abdullah. It may be that they just want to rattle him a little bit and make him a little bit more nervous, show him his vulnerability so that he would fall in line with them and accept, like Bahrain has and others, to be a vassal kingdom, as happened in the old Nabatean kingdom with the Romans and the Greeks 2,000 years ago. That will never happen. Jordan, King Hussein, at his most difficult moment during the Gulf War, refused to bow down to the demands of bigger powers, including the U.S. And there's a sense of obligation to the integrity of Jordan and the people of Jordan among the leadership of the country, which is very strong among the royal family. But this foreign intervention accusation remains to be proven. Most people, including myself, don't think it makes very much sense. But we'll see. If they have evidence, they should take it to court. Court of public opinion or a court of law. That hasn't happened yet. And my guess is it's not going to happen because I don't really think there was any major plot. And if there was, Prince Hamza certainly had nothing to do with it, in my view.
Rami, thank you very much for sharing your views with us. Always good to have you on Al Jazeera. RGKhouri joining us there live from Massachusetts.